course. Like, if you want a Ancient Apparition against a Slark, go for it. If you want an Abaddon against Piranha, there you go. What I am kind of surprised about for PaiN's draft, though, is they banned the Bat Rider anyways. You already have a Void, so it'd have to be a mid-Bat Rider, and then you have the Abaddon to break the lasso if he's got an Ether Lens or a Blink. So I feel like the Bat Rider isn't as threatening, but maybe they're worried about like a ton of sticky napalm setting up an arrow, and then PaiN have to worry about their Invoker suddenly.
It's like they already know Abaddon's going to have a lot of responsibility with the Mirana. They don't want to overflow him with too much work there, Blaze. If he has to deal with the Mirana and a Bat Rider, and then whatever else is out there to stop him, then it's a bit too much. You do have to be a little concerned. Abaddon does have to be careful, though, to avoid the time dilation a bit. It can do a lot of work to Abaddon, who does like to spam out his shield. It's frequently done 2-3 times in a hectic fight. And even the miscoil heals and everything like that, it could prove to be a bit of a problem. Look at this, though. A mild throwback here. Yeah. They grabbed the Shadow Demon. We knew this combo from, plenty of times back in the day. The Shadow Demon gets the disruption set up for the easy arrow, and obviously with all the extra illusion damage, or let's say a Soul Catcher, it's pretty much going to be guaranteed to kill. But what do you think about the Shadow Demon here and now, and going for him as opposed to something just like a BANE?
Yeah, I mean, the BANE definitely has plenty of merits here. He's able to bully his way into the lane a little bit more with the Brain Sap and stuff, but I do feel like there's no question about your combo when you have the Shadow Demon Disruption, because with a BANE, the Nightmare, you can juggle it a little bit. You have a range support that'll take it off a hero, and that'll create issues. What I like about the Shadow Demon Mirana is that you can actually, if you find the Abaddon, like in the middle of the jungle trying to go for a pull, you disrupt him, you arrow him, he cannot shield himself. He will be going down prior to level 6. So I feel like that still creates opportunities for them. Whereas with the BANE, you have more of a chance for that to get messed up a little bit, for somebody else to juggle the sleep. And then Abaddon, of course, Abaddon has the opportunity to actually shield that off. But the Juggernaut's still a pretty good pick. You can spin in front of the arrow to break that. And I almost want to see a Visage personally, because I think Visage is really strong against the Mirana. The ability to throw the familiars in front of the arrow as well as a hero that doesn't mind picking up sentries aplenty. So I would love to see like an Abaddon, Juggernaut, Visage trial lane just to counteract anything the Archon are trying to do. But of course, then they could just not go aggro. They could just play it safe, and then they can go pretty greedy from off of that.
Very passive at that point. And I would fear they'd be lacking a bit of lockdown. I don't know what kind of Invoker they do plan on playing here, but they wouldn't be able to offer a lot for any sort of global Sunstrike potential there. But I do love Visage as a pick, being able to block away the aggression that Mirana could bring. But now we look back towards the side of PaiN here. Oh, and I also wanted to say, convenient for the Shadow Demon, which is nice. I know the Jug pick came after, but at least he knows now that if he ever gets caught in the bad end of a one-on-one with Jug, he can always get the disruption and illusion off, and always has that save potential there. But we'll see. PaiN now wagering they still need to grab an offlaner for themselves, and now don't have access to running like an Enchantress, let's say, no Bat Rider. I'm curious if they get something that can contribute a lot from the outside of a Chrono, or maybe something to disengage, like an Earthshaker, let's say. What do you think are the best possible options here for PaiN to be able to get the most out of this off lane?
That's a really tough call, because you know that you're going to be under pressure from a lot of different forms of disable, so you just can't pick up a hero that, it's like, I have this one spell that allows me to escape, and that's going to be my ticket out, because there's so many times where you're caught in a Chrono, you're caught in an arrow, and you're not going to be actually guaranteed to use that escape mechanism in particular. So it's not an easy pick by any stretch. Their team fight is going to need some work. They're just going with something that's going to create dynamic lanes and try to counteract the Mirana early. It's not really a great pick for the mid to late game. It doesn't do anything against a Faceless Void, but it's going to be good just for the early involvement.
So are we thinking this is going to be the offlane grab Spirit Breaker, or is this like a 4-position roam around and try to be the contrast to the aggression we expect from a Mirana? I was going to like casually throw out the name like Legion Commander, let's say, as an offlane potential for PaiN, being able to purge the arrow a bit.
No, I got to say that is the worst thing. Like you have an arrow that when you're in a stationary position, you have a defensive disruption, so you're never going to win a duel. Like Sonic Wave to kill you. I actually feel like Legion would just feed so many duels and never really connect with any. So I'd have to veto that one. But other than that, like, because we know this isn't going to be the support duo, the only alternative is Abaddon actually going to the off lane, and then, like we said, it goes back to the drawback of suddenly, unless Abaddon is really quick on the TP, he's never going to be in a position to actually help out against Mirana if, say, the Juggernaut's in
10
trouble or
seconds
the
remaining.
other support up there.
Now the last grab from Archon was the Morphling
5
now,
seconds
so they got
remaining.
the Monkey Hero here, and plenty of ways to cause enough space and enough of a ruckus that this
Reserve
Morphling
time.
should be able to get plenty of space in the mid game to be a problem later. The pick is going to be Puck, and
Okay.
a classic
Well,
off-lane Puck grab, from what it looks like.
I'm not sold on the Abaddon Spirit Breaker support duo. I feel like that's going to be creating some drawbacks here and there, but
Yeah.
end of the day, the Spirit Breaker is going to be off the map. He's going to try to make things happen, and then Abaddon's just going to be sitting behind heroes that just trying to make things not happen. So it makes it difficult for the Mirana and the Shadow Demon to really get involved, but I'm still not fully sold on the idea. If, for example, the Mirana just wants to stack for the Queen of PaiN in the jungle and they kind of play passive lanes, they've got a really good tri-core of heroes that can just build themselves up. I
10
mean,
seconds
Morphling,
remaining.
Void, Queen of PaiN could all take the game to the later stage, and
5
Yeah.
seconds
I just feel
remaining.
like the trio that you're going to see going up against the Faceless Void is not going to be creating any kill opportunities.
Early Sunstrike, quick on the mark to get that intel. Hell, we'll pause so we get that extra bit of vision. That's right. Okay. Can
Well,
really soak it in. But I'm worried for PaiN that it feels like Moo is going to be able to do everything he wants if he is going to be the offlane Void here. I mean, dual melee supports coming out from PaiN. I don't know if they're going to have much unless they get one hell of a series of bash luck coming out to stop him from just time walking away from any sort of trouble. So do you think PaiN are going to be considering any sort of lane change or pulling out something?
no, but no matter what you put against the Void, it's not really going to be good. The Puck's
Yeah.
not going to go great against the Void, and I wouldn't say the Invoker would do good, but not insanely to the point that the Moo would get zoned out or anything. I feel like already Moo's going to have an easy laning phase, and they probably have to put their focus elsewhere. And if, for example, there is going to be the aggro try, they just need to have everything ready to respond to that.
Yeah, like that's why I mean I know the Void seems like he's going to be able to get as he wants, but if they wanted to put like the Puck against him and then put their own aggro setup to try to pressure them more for counter the pressure from a roaming Mirana and Shadow Demon, maybe that could be one of their best options here. But it does look like Abaddon's already going to be heading down that way, and it looks like PaiN are just going to go with kind of the hand they were dealt and keep it pretty traditional as far as laning setup. But we'll see.
If you look at the dire side, they're actually putting the Morphling bottom and the Void top, so it's still going to kind of come into the early confrontation aspect for this draft. I'm not sure if Archon are actually predicting that what you're exactly what you were talking about, where they might put those heroes up top, pressure the Morphling, and so Archon are one step ahead of them and are throwing him bottom. But it does seem like Archon are going to be comfortable with having Morph bottom since he's already like building up for the early Wraith ban. He knows he's going to be in a position to get at least a first creep wave of CS, and he's probably going to go wave form first because if he was going for Morph first, then it would have been in the fountain.
I mean, for now, it looks like just Shadow Demon's here. So do you think Archon could just get away with rolling with a 2-1-2? Because, I mean, it feels like they're not really taking advantage of the potential of the Shadow Demon Mirana. So I guess the Mirana will just go where she sees fit. Probably put the extra attention towards the mid and bottom lane here. But
Yeah.
we'll see how
The fact that Whitebeard has two clarities shows that he wants to jungle a little bit. He'll get level
Yeah.
2 out of the hard creeps in the jungle, and then
30
he'll
seconds
start
to
making his
battle.
moves with or without the Shadow Demon.
All right, we'll see how the first arrows are going to be flying out from this one. It's a bit different from what we saw in game number 1 with the Oracle, but Archon got the win in game number 1, and here we are going into game number 2. Archon with 1 win will secure a spot into the semis. PaiN need a win here to stay alive. And remember, no double elimination means that the loser of the series, they'll have to wait to next season if they want to be playing some more in BTS
The battle
Americas.
begins.
So with that, the sound of the horn, it looks like Archon will be able to secure up the bottom rune for Quap, and top lane going to be snagged up from Moo. Looks like he doesn't even need to time walk in to grab it up, just takes it right there, and Archon will get double rune benefits.
Yeah, they are putting the Juggernaut actually top here, the Puck bottom, so we are going to be seeing these lanes kind of shift up a little bit. Each side trying to get the better of it. As far as what I think is ideal, I think PaiN confronting the Morphling will be the best thing that they can offer, and of course the fact that Whitebeard is going to be controlling the Radiant jungle, they know it now with that ward. It's something that they have to address. They want to be where Whitebeard is looking to go as well, and we're going to see that disruption. We're going to see the arrow if Rayer tanks it, but it looks like they won't give him the opportunity because the shield was on cooldown for that moment.
Spearbreaker quick to now head bottom, where he knows Jo is alone because the supports are hanging around that mid lane.
Oh, he went morph. Oh,
and,
no.
Because of that, he has no waveform to make it away. The charge is going to be there. Do they have the right-click damage? He's morphing up the strength while he can here. Oh, it's not going to be enough. KotLGuy is going to be picking up the first blood.
They had a ward. They saw him charging. I don't know how. They must have been tunnel vision hardcore on the lanes themselves. And now we're going to see a misusage of disruption from Fluff and stuff. He's trying to get the disruption on the Abaddon. Of course, Abaddon in the jungle against the DSD Mirana. That's a free kill. But in this case, he misses that. He casts out himself, and that's 2 misplays that already give PaiN a good start in this game.
Well, they're on tilt. This game's over. I mean, it's looking like here. No, but for Archon, it does seem a bit sketchy. I guess maybe Jo just in the zone for his first few CS. Didn't see the pressure coming in from the Spearbreaker, and PaiN read that well. They saw the supports of the mid lane. They made their move to bottom, and little do they know, they did it under the watchful eye and still got away with murder. So, excuse me, bottom lane looks like they're going to bring the aggression from Whitebeard and Fluff down here now. So I wonder if this is going to be a little bit of a cease and desist from kind of roaming about, but we'll have to see.
All right, well, Whitebeard's going to get a little bit closer to level 2 with the bounty rune, but they still are kind of looking for a clear opportunity. If KotLGuy uses the orb, then they will disrupt him, but other than that, like, is this actually going to work? They're going to try for it this time.
Nope. The timing is just so precious against the puck in that kind of setup. So, swing and a miss from them. Force out some spells across the board, but you still have those 2 clarities on, you know, Whitebeard, so he has plenty of mana to work with. Top lane, convenient bash from Moo. He's happy to trade in a 1v2 here and just be able to time walk away any sort of early aggression. So he's still getting a lot as a mandate, but back at bottom lane, look at this Whitebeard caught out. He goes down, silenced up, the charge is there, and with an orb, they're going to be bursting down the Mirana, and PaiN are up and ahead now 2-0.
Yeah, mid is going to be a hard engage for Monkeys Forever. It is going to be under Sunstrike against the Fairy Fire, but he's still doing plenty of damage, and that will be Invoker falling. 1 Quaz, maybe that changes, but he couldn't get the second Fairy Fire off in time.
Monkey is obviously a very composed mid laner. He's definitely giving PaiN a run for their money there. 2nd game straight where he's taken over in this mid lane a bit. 17, 18, and 5 CS right now, and the Invoker's stuck back at 10 and 3, so he's going to have to try to shake that one off to get back into the grind right now. Whitebeard continuing to go on the move. Looks like he's considering some moves towards mid lane. Back-to-back takedowns on Invoker would be dramatic right now. Leaping into position. The arrow is going to be off the mark. And he will build a Ghost Walk. But nonetheless, he's forced into Ghost Walk. Now won't have it, and he's going to have to continue to play a bit scared.
So down bottom is still not too bad for Archon. This is actually a really old reference, but when Shadow Demon was first part of the game, one of the most common dual lanes you got to see was actually Shadow Demon Morphling, where it was actually a dual mid setup where the Morphling would pack the punch, and then you would just have that Soul Catcher enhancing all the Morphling's damage. It was one of the oldest combos, but in Dota 2 in regards to Eridar the Shadow Demon, but we will see play here mid. I don't think this is a good play though, so they're just gonna force the TP and disengage. But yeah, we still see some good strength down bottom. Even though JO's taking some hits, he's perfectly willing to throw him back the other way.
Yeah, KotLGuy is going to be forced to jump away from trouble. No rune is going to be there for him, so he'll have to make his way back into the lane. And eager Archon group wanted to make their move for the Invoker on the mid. But we're not going to be able to catch that one out. Let's check top lane. Moo drops down the Chrono. Arrows there. 40R. Set to go down. And it's going to be going the way of Moo. Beautiful setup with the first Chrono. And Whitebeard, who continues to stay off the radar and moving across the map, suddenly makes his appearance known in the top lane.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously that's kind of just the fact that Abaddon's off the map. Like, when he TPs mid, he's suddenly stranded in a position that he's not going to be doing anything since the Queen of PaiN and Mirana immediately walked away. So he's going to be unable to really assist top. That's where a lot of the pressure comes from, and that's going to be a good use of the Chronosphere. I mean, it's just a simple point and click, no need to hype it, but it is going to be just a decision they make where they are completely aware of the weakness of Abaddon's early game mobility. So 40R is going to take this lane back at this point in time with the tail to back him up, but now we're going to be looking over at mid, where the Invoker is sure he has the ability to sneak out with the Ghost Walk, but if he invokes just one spell, then that could change the other way.
Whitebeard's perched up on the high ground here, hoping for a home run hit of an arrow right now. Can he line up the shot? He's going around for this one. We'll see if the setup's
This
going to
could be really good.
Yeah. At the same moment, I'm also trying to keep tabs. 40R does need more time, so no level 6 coming soon for him. I'm sure he wants to find a play with that first Omni Slash, but Whitebeard is still continuing to kind of stay perched at this mid lane. Arrows out.
Oh, here we go.
Arrows hit. What a beautiful line shot through the trees. Really hit in the dark on that one. And they're going to be rewarded with a takedown on the Evoker. Nicely done from Whitebeard.
Yeah, really good usage of the Fog of War. There's a couple lines you can find with all those trees involved. Obviously, the one we just saw through the backside, and then, of course, on the high ground to the east from the ancient position. So just having to constantly keep tabs on that, and the low reaction time is really important. We are going to see, however, the bottom, there is going to be the charge on the Morphling, but unable to get close enough for the silence means it's just going to bully him back.
Morphling is going to be fine as he steps back and will be able to put himself back into the lane once more. It's a grind here for PaiN. They want to get pucked towards the level 6, have Coil up and at the ready, and hopefully looking to make some use out of it at this point, because the farm is certainly top 3 CS all belong to Archon. We begin to switch to net worth, and it's pretty much the exact same here. All 3 cores really getting the most out of the map right now, and I don't know where PaiN should be putting their focus here. As top lane, Chrono's going to come out from Moo. Another setup, another shot landed from Whitebeard now. But quickly to the answer is going to be the Abaddon. Tail steps in and assists 40R in need. Whitebeard's going to be able to leap over the trees and make it away from trouble. And it looks like they will be forced to step back. So good save there from Tal, who's patiently waiting behind his precious Jug. Once they are able to build up the farm blaze, where do they look to strike right now? Because I'm seeing a lot of problems on the other side of the river, and I don't know what they should address first.
Oh, do you mean by PaiN?
By, yeah, PaiN going into Archon. I mean, you're going to have Coil up soon. I'm sure they're going to want to get something done.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to be proactive, or they're just going to be waiting for arrows to kind of to go up against them. But I do feel at the same time that right now there's just so much favoring Archon with their ultimates. Morphling's a hard kill in general, so right now I would just say kind of finding the opening with the Invoker and the Puck, trying to get some good spells out. The Juggernaut will TP if the fight seems to be favoring them, but otherwise they'll just kind of fish for opportunities with the Dream Coil. We do see the superior level Abaddon is going to be here, but Whitebeard's not scared. He's not falling back, and he's actually going to hit that arrow, and there's no borrowed time.
And they thought he was going to fall back into that Sunstrike, but he's happy to move forward with the assistance from Monkeys. Now Whitebeard goes to the high ground and leaps the hell out of there, but the Coil is going to catch Monkeys, and they get the Omni Slash. 2 ults for that precious Quap. It's a killing spree of a bounty, too. 422 extra cold, and of all the people to get it, it's 40R on the Jug.
And I think they can go for a charge top as well on Demu, so they're going to try for that. The Dire do not see it just yet. It should be on the trees. Yeah, they don't see him, so it will be connecting, and it should do enough damage. Time walk into the Sunstrike.
My! Beautifully done right there. This kid, man, he can play an Invoker. Maybe deserves a bit more of respect on banning it out or taking it away, but he flex off a nice play there, anticipating the time walk back. And now PaiN are going to move this momentum into some pressure onto this tier 1. They've been able to even the game up 4-4, but it is still Archon who's getting the most across the map.
Yep. So JO's going to be pushing in hard bottom. He's going to be picking up a pretty early Liquid Sphere. First he went back for a couple stat items, and even the treads probably right here. No, he goes for the Perseverance. Boots into Lincoln's, but up top it is going to be the tier 1 tower kill. That'll even up the tower kill score. And Moo coming in, I don't think he has the backup to make a play.
Arrows out. It's already a miss there, so might be Archon's best interest to find business elsewhere, but a nice little D-ward coming out from Fluff, but as he goes for the last hit, the charge is going to be there. Now looking to move in. Coil is available, not necessary. Now they get the Chrono off. It's not going to be in time to save out Fluff, lining up the arrow. They are going to get the catch. It's on 40R, so he's going to have to step off a bit. Did not even have the Omni Slash at the ready, but it looks like PaiN are going to be satisfied, at least for now, with the tier 1 takedown and the 1 support grab. Meanwhile, bottom lane, though, Jo continues to farm up. It looks like they were able to grab the tier 1 there. So this Morphling now has a Perseverance complete and is making his way towards the Lincolns.
A bit of smoke and mirrors there from Archon. I believe that the full intention of the fight at top lane was just to distract PaiN from the Morphling. There's no way they can actually take that fight. They know how many heroes were there. At least they knew 3 of them, maybe not all 4. But they knew that that was not a fight where they could get real kill potential. But what they were able to do just with a little D ward action was not only get the ward, but trade a support for a tier 1 bottom, which is a trade you'd make even in a localized setting. So doing it across the map, getting the same result, I think that Archon are pretty happy with that. And it just comes down to the next move here. If they can start, how they play when they don't have Chronosphere is the big question. And more importantly, how PaiN prompt action when the Chronosphere is on cooldown.
Which is not going to be very much longer here. They got another minute window to work with, but it's on par with the... Oh, I was going to say I was clicking on the wrong here. So they have Coil ready. They can make it work up here top lane, maybe.
Attack.
Left alone is the morph. They would need maybe a bit more than just a Spirit Breaker. But they make the move. Jo now starts channeling up the strength. The Sunstrike is going to be there, but look at the gains just come in, and he just easily shrugs off any sort of gank and will easily be able to step back. Bottom lane, though, look at this. Disruption's already going to be out. This comes after a takedown onto the Abaddon here. Sonic Wave will fly, but 40R is faster to step out with the Blade Fury. And they will step off.
Yeah, this is like purgatory for the Abaddon. Actually, Jo is going to be... He still has a decent bit of agi to play around with, and he is going to get the waveform off before the stun, so he's okay. Obviously, if King RD had a blink, that would be probably a dead Morphling, but without it, it's still too hard. But this is like a purgatory for Abaddon, where he's just shy of level 6. I've been there many, many times, just dying like 3 times in a row when you're level 5. He's only died twice, but it's still just shy of the ultimate, where he goes from the most squishy hero in the game to the strongest. Up in mid, it looks like they will get the disruption. Oh, okay, they are going to be actually backing off here, as a little bit too afraid of the counter initiation that comes through nevertheless.
It's still there, though. Self-disruption will avoid the Sunstrike and extra pressure. Now Fluff looks to step off and away from trouble as Moo moves in with a time dilation. Now we'll see. PaiN, are they looking to pursue here? Looking to sweep in. Coil at the ready. PaiN might look to take a fight. There's going to be a good drop of the Chrono onto 2. They quickly take down the Abaddon, so again he'll be taken down. No borrowed time for him, and they get the Invoker. A huge fight for Archon, and as they look for the Spirit Breaker, he charges away from trouble, but look who's TPing up there to meet him. Whitebeard en route. Can he arrow? Oh, he just walks into him instead.
Oh, okay.
And they catch him, nonetheless.
Why did he go follow through on that?
I don't know.
I
figured a cancel in the river and then a TP would have been best, but he went all the way up their top lane.
Gotta get those creeps. I don't know. I guess he just didn't think that anybody's going to be heading that direction, but it does seem to be, well, in hindsight, a very foolish move. But all in all, they're picking up smokes. They're saying, okay, well, we'll just have to make a play happen. There's no Chrono again, because they used it to kill us. We just need to try to find something. And poor Tal is just like, please, just give me a creep wave. I just want creep wave, one ultimate, then I'll be a good support and never feed again.
Dire's middle tower is under
Looks
attack.
like he might be blessed for now, as he's there. And here goes Moo around the corner. He's thinking about moving in. Abaddon's way too hesitant right now, but he just one creep, just get it to me, I'll take it. He goes in for it right away, and it looks like borrowed time will be online now, so poor little Abaddon will be able to at least get that possible extra shield, extra heal off before he is going to be taken down. But smoke
6 experience. I thought the Midas actually might screw him over, because it's selfish experience. Only the Invoker gets that 2.5x, so could have been bad. But
he might have to put that borrowed time to use right away. He's not careful. Looks like they'll be fine. They laid him with a disruption, but no arrow follow-up. Okay, swing and a miss. King RD. Oh, blown up right there. Sonic Wave also going to spit off into the Abaddon, so that's the borrowed time already on cooldown now. But PaiN Gaming still looking to stand here. Moonlight Shadow's out, so Archon look to step back. Moo's showing up now, and Moo needs 15 seconds till Chrono's up. But they're going to go nonetheless. Arrow is going to be off the mark, but the jump from the Spirit Breaker, and then quickly they're going to catch him with disruption now. Waveform forward, and this time he will charge away and make it away to safety. Bit of an awkward fight, but it does cost Puck his life, and now Archon are going to be in a further advantage. And with Roche standing, they probably don't have the quickest Roche potential here, but nonetheless, it's still on PaiN to make the comeback happen.
There's a nice little observer ward here for the Dire. This is how they saw the puck coming, and immediately Queen of PaiN gets the blink hex, blink or silence on him. So that was really good execution for Monkeys Forever, but of course that does show the ward. They do de-ward it pretty quickly. So all in all, Archon still dominating the map, still having the forward kill advantage, but I mean PaiN are at least have the space to farm right now. They still have access to certain lanes. There are still good Dire wards, still scouting their movement, towards the Radiant jungle, but we see yet again a D ward coming out from Tal.
Quick to try to make sure they can take their jungle back. Not looking to be isolated back into their base too soon here. Looking to get the most out of the map to farm up, and Joku didn't have to go into some serious sort of Battle Fury kind of a farm. Has stepped up for the Yasha right now, so he still lacks a bit in the health department, but putting together the move speed. And
I'm not sure if I
farming.
would phrase it so much as doesn't have to, so much as doesn't get to. Like, he'd love to actually be playing a bit more of a passive game and build himself up towards just something more farm intensive, where they could reliably stack and build themselves up. But it feels like in this game, he needs more and more. He needs to pick up a early Meta and SMY and just get involved in the fights hardcore.
We'll see what kind of time he's going to be gifted here from Archon to make the most and try to find the farm to be able to be a bit of catch-up here. But already on the prowl once more. Monkey's committing in deep, looking to make the catch on to King RD. But now he's the one in trouble. Silenced up. Good lockdown comes out from PaiN. And Archon might be forced to retreat, but Moose says, I have a chrono. I might want to fight. Time dilation split between the two. And now come out the body blocks here. Moo has another time walk. We'll be able to make it over the trees, but they continue to chase.
Dire's middle tower
It looks like
is
they're not
under
going to be
attack.
following through with too much extra.
Radiant's
No
top tower is under
coil
attack.
at the ready. And Monkey's just kind of
Radiant's
handing
top
his life
tower
away a
has
little
fallen.
bit, but that was good credit to PaiN to kind of be there to
Dire's
spring the
middle
trap.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, they baited it really well. They got
Structures
a
are fortified.
very nice kill out of it. Got the puck, the blink dagger. So those are very important things. And I think the Queen of PaiN for Avoid just thought it would be a quick chrono
Radiant's top tower
Sonic
is
Wave
under
kill.
attack.
But in the end, Moo does still play around a little bit, leads them on a little bit of a wild goose chase that allows, once again, Jo to just keep pushing. He gets a tier 1 top, and he's going to be picking up his big ticket item here, the Liquid Sphere, very shortly. So he is actually neck and neck with the Queen of PaiN in terms of net worth, both above the Juggernaut, and it mostly comes down to just how much space Archon has created. They've been really active on the map. They've been always forcing PaiN to respond to the other 4 heroes, and so Jo's just gotten to play his game, just gotten to last hit as much as he wants to, and he's going to be rapidly becoming a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and while he continues to farm up, everyone else on Archon are happy and eager to kind of continue to get up in PaiN's face a bit and rustle the feathers, force him to kind of be not addressing the real problem, which is that Morphling. So as they now pressure out this bottom lane a bit, we look to PaiN to see what they're going to be doing as their own response. They're definitely got a serious buddy-buddy system happening here as they all are together now, you know, huddled around 40 yards. He continues to farm up. He's got about 2.3k, which is some, you know, decent farm
Radiant's
for now,
bottom
but
tower
I'm
is
seeing a
under
link that's now
attack.
complete on the Jo. This Morphling is going to continue to be a bit of a bigger problem, though the Jug is ahead on net worth. It's not by a whole lot. We'll see if they look to set up, look at this, high ground. If they can get across of Archon here on the low ground and have a better position, they might be able to get a good pick here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's going to be tough. The Queen of PaiN has a haste rune to play around with. The Morphling has the ability to TP into this tier 1. If there's any aggressive play to be made, it's going to be something that Archon are willing to fight. But they're instead going to be going for their smoke play down bottom. It looks like this is going to be a pretty clear kill on the Juggernaut with the silence from the Queen of PaiN.
Move in, there's the silence, there's the scream. Baden's on the way, can he make it in time? No, that's actually the Puck. Puck shows up first, 40R going to be going down here. Now for everyone else to follow in. Powell shows up, trying to get into the action. Nice Sunstrike catch, will be able to get Fluff. This does come after the Jug though, and now a Chrono Arrow set up. They're looking to go for King RD. There's another Orchid Silence, Sonic Wave, and boom! Fairy Dragon does go down, and now Archon are looking to scrap up what is left, and it's going to be firstly the Spirit Breaker. Good catch of damage right there, and it's going to be able to finish him off. Now they move forward. It looks like a tier 2 should be in order for him. And then we'll see if they decide to kind of push on forward here. Juggy's going to be back in about 15 seconds, so it's not enough time to move in for any sort of
They should take the
buyback.
bottom, though.
Tower is under
But
attack.
yeah, they
they-
could definitely do some work.
Radiant's
The
bottom
Morphling didn't really
tower
get to
has
be involved.
fallen.
He's like walking as slow as possible through the jungle just to get down to the tower. But
Dire's
he'll
middle
go ahead
tower
and just
is under
blast it
attack.
yet another, or we'll bring the tower down. Now we just see the entire map dark for PaiN. I mean, they have one ward towards the top rune. I'm not sure how valuable that one's going to honestly be unless we start seeing Juggernaut farming up his Ancients, farming up the new hard camp. It's just right now I feel like Archon are going to be dominating the entire Roshan quadrant, which is the important part of the map.
Instead of moving on forward towards the high ground here of PaiN, they will make the safer choice, step back, grab up the Roche, the extra life, and PaiN are already en route here. But
Roshan
it is
has
going to be too
fallen
late. Do
to the
they
dark.
still make a move? 40R is out in front saying, I'm ready to go. I got Omni Slash level 2. My Manta's online. But Archon are just going to be the ones kind of dictate the game here. And uh-oh, charge is out, and it's not on everyone here. Already in, they get a good coil between the two. Monkeys Forever going to be bursted down. Nicely done from them. Now they look for Jayo here. Here comes the reinforcements from Archon, though. 40 yard, a bit of trouble. Can't stand at the right click. Adaptive strike waveform. Bada bing, bada boom. Jayo gets the job done. Now Invoker needs to pick up the pieces for what's left. Can they get Moo? Moo, time walk, steps away, time dilation. They are going to grab him on the back end of that now. Looking to make a retreat. PaiN, boom, another shot. Jayo moves in, gets the wave set up, and now looks for the puck. Puck sidesteps, avoids the trouble, but an arrow set up onto Invoker with an adaptive strike is going to get the finish. Now it's...
I gotta say though, although this fight is extremely favorable for Archon, I am amazed at how well King RD was able to execute with it. It looks like the TP will come through for the Spirit Breaker. He'll get out, but King RD 3 different times got to use his Blink Silence, got to use his jump in. He just is able to go into the fight, dodge back out, go into the fight, dodge back out. 3 different times, goes in, makes a big difference to the fight, is responsible for the Faceless Void going down. I think he picked up the last hit on the Shadow Demon. Like, those are really important pickups that allow PaiN to just not take that entire fight as a loss. And it all comes down to King RD, again, just bouncing in, bouncing out, using a regen rune in the middle of the fight, just showing the real value of a puck when he can have that max waning rift and just every 13 seconds make a play happen.
Still a big fight for Archon, as you had mentioned. It only makes you imagine if he wasn't able to pull off such stellar play, how much worse it could have been. But here he is at it, though. He's actually making his move now for Monkeys with the Sunstrike. They'll get the kill, man. They are really doing work with these ganks and setups. The second that Archon are kind of out on their own and PaiN recognize that, they quick are there to pounce, and again, they'll be rewarded with the kill. And every little bit they'll take. Now with the Yules nearly coming together here for King RD. And we check over on the other side. Invoker's got 1,500 gold to play around with a bit. Still, though, they do fall behind the mighty net worth here that Archon do hold, specifically Jayo, who is, you know, after getting a Linken's, it looks like he's well underway to finishing out a Manta, if not just a trusty Yasha for now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Manta's fine. You could go Yasha E-Blade if you want to just pummel some supports here, but of course, the one thing that PaiN do have going for them, while I wasn't so sure about the Abad and Spirit Breaker duo, is they are tanky. You're not going to be able to bring down either of them with just an E-Blade combo, so E-Blade isn't honestly as valuable this game, and I would not be surprised just to see Jayo go for a right-click build. Go Manta into Butterfly, Scotty Satanic, those kinds of things will really allow him to just have that full-on late-game oomph.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It's obvious that there's going to be no easy target here on the side of PaiN. Everyone's pretty damn durable. And maybe just focusing more on the late game and the right click potential is best. Jump in, dilation. Sunstrike hits Monkeys, but this time they don't have that extra bit of spunk to be able to bring him down. Instead, they actually turn it over and manage to get their own pick off onto the Spirit Breaker here. So Theolicor, I tried his name, but he ends up getting taken down. Archon will take this advantage now, pop out their Moonlight Shadow, and go on the move through his sentry now, but no extra vision up there. PaiN are just going to make a safe retreat all the way back.
Didn't actually notice Whitebeard having the Blink Dagger here. I've seen 4-staff a lot of Mirana, and I've seen some great value in it, but actually going for the full-on Blink here. So Blink and Leap is able to allow him to really get in position, able to do some real cool arrows and some longer range initiations, as well as make sure that no matter what, you're always in mech range. We're actually going to see 40R caught inside the Chronosphere, no TP, so Moo's just going to set up the kill. There's going to be the Omni Slash, but it will go on the Mud Golems as well, and in the end, 40R will still fall to Whitebeard's unstoppable streak. Seriously? 6-1-7 on the Mirana.
Well played by him. Didn't really get to see the Blink be the big factor there, but nonetheless, they got the scouting with the arrow. Beautiful Chrono's going to stop him from making it away, and thankfully for the Golems, no extra damage going to be on the Whitebeard. He'll be able to walk away alive and well. So another pick for them this time on to Jug. 30 seconds, no buyback. Already Archon crossed the river now. Monkeys out in front with an Invis Root to kind of scout out what's at the ready here. If they're able to take this Invoker out of the picture fast, then it would be a very, very hard fight. Hard defense here for PaiN. So it looks like that's not going to be there, and they know that Chrono's not there, so 60 seconds, no Chrono to really worry about. Just essentially the Queen of PaiN, who continues to be in the dark.
All right, so this is going to be a pretty clear-cut tier 2 push. They're going to be able to, I think, crack this one. They have to commit a little bit hard to it to make sure that they get in and get out. But it's going to be one of the last towers remaining on the map for PaiN. So it is very key that Archon continue to dominate. They might get like a dire ward up here, and at that point they just see everything. Right now, even the ward that we see placed just south of it is going to be great. They'll see anything moving in towards the secret shop to purchase. They'll be able to find anybody that thinks they're safe, farming out those two camps. But of course, PaiN, they're going to be looking to make their move pretty soon. Are they actually smoking? Okay, double smoke comes out, unfortunately, but it is going to be PaiN that make their wrap, and it's going to be, I think, Whitebeard to try to just break it on the high ground.
Let's see if he can get it here. Whitebeard moves in. Moonlight Shadow. Smokes popped. But Baden, does he see it? They kind of ping back there. They know what's going on, and they're going to just turn it all the way to a bottom lane push, but they have definitely been spotted out. The game plan's not going to be there. Now Archon have just quickly claimed a tier 2, and still with the benefit of this huge push in numbers, they're going to continue to move in and maybe get some poking damage onto this tier 3. We'll have to see what PaiN are going to be doing as a response, because they are definitely going to be feeling a bit lackluster in the ammunition here compared to at least what Archon have.
I mean, you just compare the support's net worth. Like, even the lowest net worth on the Shadow Demon for Fluff, he's got himself an Ether Lens. Like, he still has the ability to go in for the longer range Demonic Purge after Juggernaut's ultimate, or maybe even a Disruption to save somebody's life. He's got the extra damage if he gets a lot of Shadow Poison stacked up. Where's the Abaddon, who's just sitting on Brown Boots. Like, he's got Brown Boots and Magic Wand. The Spirit Breaker, who has pretty much the same value, but Shadow Amulet does nothing for him. The Blade or the Glimmer Cape will mean something. The Shadow Amulet itself is pretty worthless.
Alright, so Archon seemed to be just content with taking out that last outer tower, and we'll get back into the grind to farm a bit. Still have about a minute or so before we'll even see the appropriate timer here for the Roche. We'll see if Archon decide to play it extra safe and get the extra life before they move on in.
Radiant's courier has been
and that's the dire ward I was talking about. Just seeing the courier move is going to allow them to always pick up the secret shop to purchase, and that's actually a lot of gold on that courier. That's a full Aghanim Scepter for the Invoker.
Ouch. That is huge potential now gone, and something that if Archon spotted out, might decide to kind of end this sooner than later when they kind of had that big advantage. And uh-oh, it seems like they spotted out the Spirit Breaker here. Oh, they chrono, and they even have the arrow there ready. Even if it means putting Jo under it, it doesn't matter. They just want to quickly get that kill. And Jo will actually get the final say there with the waveform.
Alrighty, so at this point in time, like PaiN, they've exhausted. Did they exhaust all their smokes? Yeah, when they double smoked and Whitebeard broke it, that was every smoke they had in their inventory for the next 9 minutes. Like, that is disastrous that they were unfortunately wasted both of their smokes, and both of them failed simultaneously. But now PaiN are kind of limited on their options. How do they get out? I mean, right now I think the Invoker doesn't even want to get out of his own base because he's 4,200 gold short while the courier is dead. He's waiting for that to respawn just so he can actually look like he's had any farm for the past 10 minutes.
Here comes Archon now, at least in the form of a Morphling Manta here, casually poking at this bottom lane a bit. Archon continues to scout out for the Roche, which is up now. Moon on the scene. We'll let them know. PaiN just trying their best to stall out or adding some split pressure towards this top lane to see if they can force Archon back and away from that pit. But they're a very mobile team. They can get up there, get the push back, and get back into the Roche pit. And be able to take the Aegis before sundown. So with that, what is going to be there to stop them, Blaze, from just kind of taking this and going right into PaiN territory and just taking the game? I mean, there's going to be no ag now on this Invoker to work with.
He might have it in time. It's going to be 1 minute on the courier death, so I think he should have the Aghanims, but in spite of that, they don't really still have an answer. Like, this isn't a hex. This is just the Ags. It's going to enhance what he already has going for him, but it isn't by itself a game changer. He's got the Invoke cooldown with the Aghanims down to 4 seconds, but still, like, he's going to have to make the perfect use of every one of his spells. The thing is, right now, the Void just picked up a VKB. The Morphling has an Aegis, which means he can go pretty much full agility for both lives or close to it, and he could just go full offensive. It's going to be, even just using Disruption on a Morphling with full agility, you're able to create such powerful illusions that can siege, and then he doesn't even have to risk his own himself or his Aegis. So the fact is, PaiN are going to be in a defensive position against a hero that's not worth actually committing any damage to, and it's just going to be difficult from here. Even Jo, like, I guess he still goes E-Blade for the defensive purpose of just throwing it on himself or an ally to prevent an Omni Slash, and from there, even more damage is removed from PaiN's potential.
So it's your best game plan is slowing down, stalling out for the Aegis, spam out these waves a bit. Puck's doing work on the bottom. Unfortunately for Jug, with the game that's been dealt before him, he has no cleave because he was able to get the Battle Fury here. It looks like he's taking steps to prepare for possibly an MKB, because he was probably also wagering maybe the right-click build-up from this Morphling. But Morphling did step off for the Ghost Scepter in the meantime, it looks like. It's always good to have a Ghost at least against the Jug, but nonetheless.
He does have the Diffusal Blade now, but he'll still lose a few splashes no matter what. Actually, Jo is just going to get a kill on 40R. Oh my god,
no.
He's actually going to force the Omni Slash and still die.
Oh, and it goes right through the creep wave mostly. Finally, they catch him. There's the Purge. Okay. There's the kill.
Well, you asked how to try to deal with a play from Archon here with the Aegis, and I think we found the worst possible solution. Just going YOLO with Juggernaut is not going to really be solving any of their problems, and yeah, at this point, there's almost no delaying for the full 50 seconds.
Yeah, unfortunately, no catch for the Nether Strike means the Sunstrike's going to be a swing and a miss. Invoker's going to grab his Blink. He pretty much buys out for this one, so there'll be no buyback for him. Jug's still out 38 seconds, no buyback. Archon are going to be forcing one if they think there's one. Looks like racks are going to be going down potentially soon. There you see the disruption, and now we have some mighty Jo Morphling illusions. They're going to be able to do some serious work here. Here we go, Puck. Spam him out while you can. Keep him back in at bay.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh, and wow.
He didn't get to borrow time.
He died so
fast.
He did
over 400 damage with his last hit. Oh my god, that's devastating.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Ben is just probably like, what in God's name just hell happened right there? Did my thing broke?
From 608 health to 0 from a 630 damage adaptive strike. Jo is just too massive with all this agility.
Jesus Christ. Abaddon down and out. Jug is back now, but they've already got the one racks. They're already looking to go for mid. Bam! Almost take out the Invoker in one shot. Now they'll finish him off. Moo gets to set up with the Chrono and a catch onto 40R. So with that, tier 3 down. It's looking like it's going to be Archon's game here, and they're going to be taking PaiN out from BTS Americas. They are going to be the first team to secure a spot into the semis.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
That is just absolutely insane. It's the damage was unreal, and that's just Jo being able to play a free game. He was just able to take it step by step. I mean, if you actually just look and focus your camera on him, you didn't see a hero for like 80% of this game. He just got to farm his towers, farm his creeps, got himself into a few skirmishes here and there, and all of them favored him. He only died once, and that was the one death that shouldn't have happened, as a matter of fact. That was him when he got charged on bottom lane level 1 when he had only Morph. So the only death happened at the very beginning of the game when it's, other than First Blood, it's least consequential to him, and nothing else bad happened to him. The rest of the game, Archon, through the use of 4 heroes, were able to dictate the course of action. Team PaiN were not able to exploit the Faceless Void or the Queen of PaiN's ultimate cooldowns and fight in between them. And although we got to see some really cool Sunstrikes, we just didn't get to see anything that really made a difference when it came down to Archon's overall plan of just building up the Morph and making the big fights happen.
Archon really just kind of showing why they feel like they deserve that invite, why they qualified for the Shanghai Major, and why they feel like they're a step above a lot of the other American teams here. So we walk away from this, PaiN Gaming. Unfortunately, we'll have to look forward to seeing them the next season of BTS Americas. But as you were alluding to, I definitely have earned, a lot of respect has been earned, at least from me, for this Invoker. Very solid showing from him in the previous series and even this one. King RD, the guy continues to truck on, and I look forward to seeing more from him. It's always a pleasure, and shout out to all the Brazilian fans who came to support their squad, but this one is going to be down. Archon move forward, and based Archon help us out with the time schedule here a bit. We're actually going to be a bit early, and our next scheduled matchup, which is going to be, I believe, Team Freedom versus Elite Wolves. Yes, Elite Wolves versus Team Freedom is going to be coming up next. That happens in about 25 minutes. So do yourself a favor, go use the bathroom, get some food, get something to drink, and when you come back, it's going to be our final series today. Elite Wolves versus Team Freedom. It will be myself, KotLGuy, back again with Blaze. Enjoy the music. We'll see you soon for more BTS America's action.